So today we're on the Inny Strand in Ballinskelligs Bay, and last time we were snorkeling directly across over there from us, but now that we've got such a beautiful low tide, we've got a new moon, so really low tide at the moment, we're going to go and explore the rock pools on the Inny Strand. Great, so here we are on the lower shore of the strands, and we see lots and lots of rocks and seaweed around us, and often people will look out and just think rocks and seaweed, but if you look a little closer you'll often find a lot more animals than you'd expect. So this one rock is what we're going to focus in on, and already all this grey, not grey but more cream colour, these are all different barnacles living on the rock. So each one of these barnacles has a little opening on the top where it can open up, and then these little legs come out. They're called cirri, and they'll actually filter feed the water for plankton. So once the tide comes over, they're going to open their doors and then start feeding. So these are one type of animal that is covering the whole rock, the barnacles. Then here there's a few of these on the rocks around. So limpets, these are called limpets, and they actually are very interesting because they create a home scar, like a circle on the rock. That is actually where they will continue to return to when the tide is out, because it fits their shell perfectly. But when the tide comes in and the water covers the rocks, they will go walking away, and they'll actually scrape the rock with a very long tongue for seaweed and algae, and they like to eat the lichen off the rock as well. So that's these limpets here. So that's two different types of animals we found so far. Let's see, what else do we have? Well, we've got some nice seaweeds here. We've got Fucus vesiculosus, the brown seaweed, and then we have an ulva species, the green seaweed here. Oh, and we have a lovely horse periwinkle here, or painted top shell actually. So very nice sea snail. Then what else do we have? We have another painted top shell. We have a sea anemone. So this is a beadlet sea anemone. And even here we have a tube worm. So a little worm living inside in that white casing. And down here we have a dog whelk. So that's quite a few different types of species of animals and vegetation living on the rock. I think it's 8 altogether. So that just shows on one small rock here how many different types of animals we can have in one place. So imagine all of these rocks have got this amount of life, but probably lots more. And when we go looking under the rocks and under the seaweed, let's see what we can find. Here we have a common shore crab. See if we let go of the seaweed. There we go. It's a female. You know that from the triangle here on her belly. So a big wide triangle means it's a female. If it's a narrow triangle, then it's a male. She's got lovely blue colors on her claws. Her mouth is in here. Eyes are here. She's still holding on to that seaweed. She doesn't want to let go. She has this hard shell case that protects her body inside. And crabs actually have gills, a little similar to fish, inside their body, and they need to be wet to be able to breathe. So they keep themselves damp and wet, but they can stay out of the water. So that's one of their adaptations, living in the rocky shore. Now, so we better put it back where we found it. Nice and shaded back in the seaweed there so it doesn't dry out. So we find lots of anemones in the rock pools, and most of the ones that we find would be the red beadlet anemones, and they can be red or green. have blue beads around them. But on the very lower shore you'll find snake locks anemones as well. And these are really beautiful bright green, and they often have these pink tips, which are actually a symbiotic algae living in them. And so these can actually sting you like a jellyfish, and they're related to jellyfish, and they have the tentacles like a jellyfish, but they're not floating in the water, they're actually stuck onto the rock, which is different from the jellyfish. And this little common sea star or starfish has just popped up here, and he's moving along the seaweed. So he's using his tube feet, which are very sticky pads on the bottom of them, hundreds of them underneath his body, and they're helping him to move around that seaweed now. There we go. And so last time we would have seen a spiny starfish, a blue spiny starfish, and this is now a common starfish. I'm just going to see if I can turn him up so you see the brown and orange colors on him. Let's see. Very small little one. Very nice. These 5 arms, yes. Sometimes you can find them with maybe 4 or 3 arms. Maybe a bird or something had to go with them, but they can actually grow their arms back and their tube feet as well back.
If you like rock pooling and are interested in learning how to record the animals you find, check out BiodiversityIreland.ie for more information.
So that was a great time rock pooling here on the Inny Strand, my local beach. Go check out your own local beach and see what you can find.